Hi, I'm Chris Haigh and this is the Fiddle channel, and today I'm going to play Galway Girl by Steve Earle. So this is a really useful song. People love it either in an American context, country, because it's a country song by Steve Earle, or in an Irish context because he recorded it with Sharon Shannon, and famous Irish accordion player, and she has recorded it subsequently on her own and with Mundy, the singer. And in 2016 Mundy and Sharon Shannon and 15,000 performers played it in a street in Galway, believe it or not, and there's a lovely video of them doing that. So this is a very popular song, and you can either give it the American twist or the Irish twist or a bit of both. So I'm going to play it in the key of D and also in the key of E. I think it started off in D, and various versions have been in E as well. We've got an intro, we've got a verse, we've got a chorus, we've got a very confusing solo, and I'll go through all of those bits. So I hope you'll find this useful. Start off with the intro, which on the original is played on the mandolin, and it's on the chord of D, but you get a very heavy A and D. But if you were going to play standard fiddle chords, you might do something like this. So that's it's just basically a D with a bit of a C sharp. Or you might do mostly open A and E like the mandolin does, with just a hint of the D. Then it's into the vocal, and the vocal line goes like this. So that's your verse, and if you were going to play the melody of the verse, then adding some drones to it would help. This is where the drums come in. And again, if you're going to play the melody, then a drone is nice. And you might do a fourth finger or a second finger to double that A. Drone again. And notice that I'm adding a shuffle, which is either the Nashville Shuffle or the Georgia Shuffle would work. And there's a space in the fourth bar of the verse for just a little bit of improvisation. Here. You might do something based around the D major pentatonic. Now if you're following this carefully, then you'll notice there's a half a bar, or half a bar missing at the end of the verse. So that's your half bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So if you're playing with an inexperienced drummer who doesn't know the song, then that's where it will go drastically wrong. Hopefully the drummer or the guitarist will be aware of that half a bar and it won't mess up. So for the verse you can either play along with the melody, but it would be better if you just did the shuffles. After the first verse, you then have the first instrumental. And the instrumental comes in two halves, but we only get the first half to start with, which sounds like this. Now I said there's two halves to this, and I play this with at least 3 different bands, and everyone does it slightly differently. So sometimes you will get this first half played with a repeat, sometimes it'll be once and then into the second half, sometimes it'll be once and then repeat the second time twice. So it's a good idea either to have it really firmly arranged or to look at one another and say up, because the next bit goes up, but I will come to that in a minute. If you want the fiddle to stand out when it plays this instrumental, then go up an octave. Because if you've got a noisy band behind you, then going up at that octave is going to help to make it stand out. So after that 8 bars of instrumental, then it's back to verse 2, same as verse 1. Chorus. Then let's do the first half of the instrumental again, followed by the second half. I'll do it a bit slow. Up. So just turning around and nodding and saying up, or raising your eyebrows even, will give an indication that we're not repeating the first half, we're going up to the next half. And then it's verse chorus again, and another instrumental A with probably 2 Bs, and that might even be it. So let's go through the whole thing with the backing. managed to mess up the instrumental twice there because my accompanist wasn't listening, or I wasn't listening to the accompanist. Anyway, I'm just going to give it you once through in E because this might be useful if that's the key that you choose. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I find D is quite a lot easier than E, but it does have a slightly different feel and is quite pleasant. But if you get a choice, then see if you can make sure it's in D. So I hope you enjoyed this. There'll be plenty more like it. I may even get around to doing the other Galway Girl one day, but we'll have to wait and see. See you again soon.